In every interaction that we have in our workaday life, the common question that we ask is, what is in it for me? All our contemporary fights in today's society are for our freedom, our liberty, our rights. There is not the least of conversation across the globe on what we can and we should do for others. I'd like to highlight the classic example of the most horrendous bushfires that gutted parts of Australia last year and killed 1 billion mute and innocent animals. 1 billion, 100 crores is a direct proof of man's selfishness and the way we collectively as a planet have ruined this planet for our own unbridled greed. At that time, living with God teaches us that we should be living this life for others, because it is only when we benchmark our lives with the avataric personalities and the prophets can we learn from them. Instead, we benchmark our lives with business tycoons and film stars. That is an artificial life and the lessons are temporary. If we benchmark ourselves and our lives with the avataric lives and the lives of great prophets, saints and individuals, we will be able to realize that most of our time should be spent for others instead of acquiring things which have to be left behind. I'm reminded of the time last year I lost my paternal grandmother. When she passed away, I was reminded of what Swami had said. When you die, the first things that will leave you will be your home, your wealth and your belongings. When she passed away and when her body was taken, it took 30 seconds for the house in which she had lived for almost 60 years and all the things that she had accumulated in her lifetime, she had to leave behind. The seconds would be the people who will come to you with you till the cremation ground, but that's all. They will leave you once your body is offered to the 5 elements. Both her sons came to the cremation grounds and the body was offered to the fire, and we waited till the process was almost completed, and that is when we had to leave. And that is when the second message came to me. All your relationships will last only till the cremation ground. Then what is it that we have to be working on? What is it that will come with us? That is only one thing that will come with you. The good and bad karma, the actions that you have undertaken. And for that, this human body is most essential. Punarvittam, punarmitram, punarbharya, punarmahi. Etat sarvah punarlabhyam, na shariram punah punaha. Punarvittam, you will get money if you lose it. Punarmitram, you will get friends if you lose it. Punarbharya, even if you lose a spouse, you may get another one. Punarmahi, if you lose your land, you will get another piece of land through hard work, through efforts. All of this can be regained by efforts. Nashariram punah punaha. With any amount of efforts you make, this precious human body that has been given to you will not come again. There is this fad of late where people keep saying, among the younger generation especially, that you have only one life, live it to the fullest. And what is the meaning of living your life to the fullest? We mean it to be selfishness and self-centeredness of unprecedented levels, and use all the time, resources and people at our disposal to satisfy our desires at any and every cost. Instead, the alternative way of looking at it would be, can we learn from the lives of avatars and prophets and say that if we have only one life to live, which of course our scriptures and Swami has repeatedly said that no, you come again and again and again, this entire process is an evolution. But even if you believe that it is only one life that we have to live, can we live it in a selfless fashion, in an exemplary fashion, so that what we have done through this life is exemplary for people to learn from and inspire several generations long after we have gone? How should we look at this world? This world is a university where one gathers spiritual knowledge. This world is a laboratory where one performs experiment with those value systems. This world is a playground where one imbibes and internalizes those learnings and plays the game of life by using those value systems. The organization has to be looked in a similar light. It is to be used for us to improve ourselves. While there may be differences of opinions, There may be conflicts. The objective should be how can I better myself rather than how I can change the other person. Because when we say we are change agents for society, that does not mean that we have to go around changing people, whether it's the organization leadership or our fellow Samiti members, center members. When we say we are change agents, we have to be focusing on how we can change ourselves. And that is when we will be able to see the entire thing in a very different light.